I don't normally review short films on this channel, but seeing how Jurassic Park is my favorite film franchise of all, and this is sort of a preface to the next chapter, I couldn't pass up talking about the new 9-minute short, Battle at Big Rock. You'd think from the sound of that title it would be an episode of The Land Before Time, but actually it's about a family of 5 who are visiting Big Rock National Park 1 year after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Their camping trip gets nightmarishly interrupted when they find themselves in the battle zone of a carnivorous Allosaurus and a couple of Pseudoceratops. If you haven't seen the short film yet, I'll warn you right now that I'm going to be getting into specific details, so you may want to see it for yourself before continuing with this review. During the studio logos, I was giddy with excitement upon hearing that awesome creepy music from the opening of the first Jurassic Park. You know, the ooh sound. Oh, I love that sound. And then we hear some news audio that drops a few hints as to how the world is changing, such as a report that the Pseudoceratops hatchling is the first dinosaur born on US soil. I was getting some Children of Men vibes from that opening audio. Now, this short film was originally scheduled for a theatrical release in front of Hobbs and Shaw, but they had to delay it because they went over budget. Even though that meant a longer wait, I saw it as good news as well. I wouldn't want to see anything with the Jurassic Park name not give 110% into the visuals and production values. And it pays off once again here. The special effects look great, and I was very impressed that even for just a short film that took 5 days to shoot, they still went to the trouble of constructing an animatronic. I don't know where it was. The franchise is so great at combining CGI and animatronics I couldn't tell, but I'm going to guess and say it was the Allosaurus as it was wrecking the trailer. And that was the most intense moment. After the trailer gets flipped and it basically becomes a lost world minus the cliff, the family's youngest is hanging there still strapped into his seat, just feet away from the Allosaurus pushing its head into the trailer. The thing I absolutely loved about this short film is that as the battle between the two dinosaurs goes down outside the trailer, we see it all entirely from the point of view of the family. This was a great directional decision on the part of Colin Trevorrow, as it magnifies the feeling that this is our world becoming overrun with these prehistoric creatures. As someone who 1 year ago would have preferred that J.A. Bayona return to helm Jurassic Park 6, I now have full confidence in Trevorrow as director. As for the writer of this short film, Emily Carmichael, who is also penning the next movie, I can't say how I feel. The only other full-length movie she's written is Pacific Rim Uprising, which was a pretty subpar sequel. However, when a Hollywood writer is at the beginning point in their career, there's always going to be studio input, and sometimes an uncredited rewrite. If there was a weak point in the writing for this short, it would have to be the brief attempt to flesh out this family, with lines like, "We've been a family for 2 years, and we need to look out for each other." That really wasn't necessary given the length of this film. All we needed was just the knowledge that this is an everyday family finding themselves in this unexpected peril. I also remember reports saying that there was going to be an appearance from a character who was in both Jurassic World movies, which might have set up a plot thread for the next movie, but there are in fact no familiar faces in this film. When the Allosaurus got hit in the eye with those arrows and it leaves, I thought that the husband and wife were going to turn to see Claire standing there with her team, at which point we might find out that the Dinosaur Protection Group has evolved into something of an animal control force. But it turns out it was just the daughter firing that crossbow that was briefly mentioned earlier. Now, what I have to say next is based on things that you wouldn't know from watching the short film alone, but it's something worth mentioning. When I heard that an Allosaurus was going to be featured, I figured that it would be an adult version of the juvenile that was sold and shipped off in Fallen Kingdom, and Colin Trevorrow has confirmed that it is. However, he also said that Big Rock National Park is about 20 miles away from the Lockwood Manor in the same forest-clad mountains area, and yet at the end of Fallen Kingdom, we saw that Allosaurus being transported by truck through the Badlands. So when the dinosaur escaped from where the buyer had it sent to, did it really walk almost all the way back to where it came from? I find that highly unlikely. Despite that, I think it was a good choice for this short film to focus on dinosaurs that weren't among those released from the Lockwood Manor. As I expressed in my last video, the character of Macy has gotten a reputation that is completely below the belt. Surprised at how many people are okay with casting all the blame for this dino disaster onto a kid who is under far more stress than a kid could handle. I'm sure that in Jurassic Park 6, Macy as well as Owen and Claire are going to be dealing with regret to some extent. So for right now, before we get there, I think it was a good decision for the first major confrontation with dinosaurs on the mainland to be one that was going to happen with or without Macy setting those other dinosaurs free. So overall, I was expecting for a little something more than just a dinosaur encounter, like a setup for a plot thread in JP6 or some world building, but aside from that opening audio, it doesn't have any of that. But for what it is, just a showcase for what's to come, Battle at Big Rock is a cool short film that has me begging for more. As Eli Mills said in Fallen Kingdom, if you want to create an addict, you have to give him a taste. And in that sense, the short film certainly does its job. June 11, 2021 cannot come soon enough. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like and share, subscribe for more. This is Pop Culture. I'm Alex Pop.